Conquerors, Warriors, welcome into another edition of the Front Seven Rush Show. I'm Vince Ingram, got my superstar producer, big time, Bijan Kelly.
Front seven rush. Front seven rush.
Sup, dude?
Hey, what's up? I'm good.
Nothing much, man. Nothing much.
I answered your
Everything
question with
good?
the question, but I'm good.
Cool.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, man. The weather's up in the air. It's kind of cool today. Yesterday it was
Yeah.
hot.
Yeah. I had
Man,
about
please.
3 different conversations about that.
Really?
Yeah. It's just
Yeah.
Houston, huh?
Is it just Houston or is it all over? I don't know. Maybe it's just Houston, man. Maybe it is just Houston. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I mean, like I always bring this up. It can rain on one half of the highway and be completely dry on the other half.
That's banana. I mean, what is that? What is that, man? You
don't know.
smart guy. You college guy. I mean, what is that?
I don't know. I guess clouds, man. I don't know. Houston is just wild. It's wild. Have you ever gotten caught in any of these, like, I don't know what they call it, scattered showers, where when I was younger, I remember this vividly. We were playing out in the street, and it started raining, and we're like, oh, we ran into the garage. And then it stopped. And we came back out. And then it started, and we ran back in, and then it stopped, and it did that like 5 times.
Yeah.
And I mean, it had to have happened in like 30 minutes.
Right.
And it was just on and off.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
I don't either, man. I don't either. We had to get a weatherman on here to explain that. A meteorologist to explain that. I don't really know, bro. I don't really know.
That's just how Houston is, I guess.
Yeah. I haven't experienced that nowhere else but Houston. So it's just Houston is different for real.
I'll tell you what. Okay, I don't know this for a fact, but I'm willing to bet that in places that it snows, that's not happening with snow. You're not just snowfall and then it stops. Snowfall and then it stops in like a 30-minute span. Like, nah.
Yeah. I don't think so either, man. I couldn't do this. I couldn't do where it's just cold all the time. I couldn't do that. Like
don't
Colorado,
go to Michigan anytime soon.
The Michigans and places like that, I couldn't do that, man.
Yeah. I mean, I like the cold, but I don't know. If you got to choose one over the other, I could survive longer in the heat.
Right. Yeah. I mean, because you can always go find some AC somewhere, you know.
Yeah, you can do something to cool down, but it's hard to warm up.
Right.
Oh, it's hard. And
Right.
and when you get too cold and you can't move, like if
Yeah.
you're hot, you're you can move, you can run, maybe
Yeah.
cold. Oh, it hurt.
I'm from East Texas too, man. So I'm used to the heat. I mean, it gets hot here,
Yeah.
humid hot, but it's dry in East Texas, man. It's
Mm,
hot. It just get hot, hot in East
I've,
Texas.
I've
So
only
it's
experienced that once before, but when you say dry, like you got to drink a lot of water, huh?
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, but it's a better to me. It's a better hot than
Mm.
here.
Oh,
'Cause
really?
it gets hot here, man. You just
It's like a blanket, huh?
yeah, you just be
It's just
sweating, man. It's
on
it's
you.
it's hard to explain. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, it's just on you.
Yeah, it's crazy,
Feels
man.
like the air is a little harder to breathe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Where back home is, it's a lot more crisp. It's just hot outside.
Right, right, right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
The lady, how you doing, Sam? What's going on, man? Xavier, good to see you back. Bodine got his what's up, front seven rush family as
What's up?
usual, man. You know.
Xavier said Galveston is worse than Tyler. And in what way? Like
Well,
being
because
hot?
it's humid.
Oh, humid. Oh, yeah.
The humidity, man, it's like a wet heat. You know.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
versus Tyler, like I said, it's a dry heat. It's like a boiling heat in Houston and Galveston. Where you boiling some water
You're
on
like
the
some
stove.
gumbo. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
So it's
Soupy.
weird. Yeah, it's
Soupy.
weird. It's weird.
Um what is this 16-ton meteor? What's that?
I mean, she would have to elaborate on that. I hadn't seen her. I guess it's a 16-ton meteor found.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard anything about it, but I typically thought things like that burned up in the atmosphere. Hold on one second. One
Right.
second, one second.
Yeah, Xavier, you're gonna have to elaborate on that one. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that. So I'm not sure
Okay.
what that is. 16-ton meteor found. Yeah, I thought that burned up in the atmosphere as well.
Yeah, I didn't think things like that even landed on Earth. I thought, but hey, I don't know. I'm not a what'd you say, meteorologist? I'm not one of those guys.
Right, right. Uh yeah, she said you can feel the humidity change driving from Tyler to Dallas. Yeah. I mean Dallas isn't as bad as East
You can
Texas
feel
either.
it in your car or
As
you mean
far
when you get
east as
out?
you go, man, the hotter it gets. It's crazy. It's
Hey,
crazy.
it's Houston.
Um,
I mean
yeah,
Texas. I'm sorry, not Houston, it's Texas.
it's Texas, man. Man, I've been watching. I've been seeing quite a few videos of what we're going through right now, man. And I mean, it's just one after another. Where you got now different nationalities coming on and saying what the black community's problem is. And I mean, you got Asian guys coming on saying what the black community's problem is. You have Hispanic guys coming on doing videos saying what the black community's problem is, man.
Man.
And everybody has a different version of it, man. But it's so sad, dude, that we as people, man, are so divided that everybody recognizes it, man. And from the Kanye to the Kyrie thing, then you get Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley calling those guys idiots. Then you got Jennifer Lewis coming on telling Kanye to shut up, shut his mouth.
Yep. Yep.
And then I see a video with Young Jock where he wasn't on anybody's side, but he was just explaining how, look, man, we don't own anything. So the Shaquille O'Neals and the Barkleys and the Jennifer Lewises of the world is saying, be quiet, because this is how we make our money. Then you got the Kanye West and the Kyrie saying you just a modern day slave because they making X amount off of you and you
No.
just taking it.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to all of this stuff, man. And like Young Doc was saying, he was saying, but man, the bigger picture is, you know, these people are saying these things, but kind of like Kanye is going through now. We don't own anything, so we don't own anything. They're gonna cut us off at the knees.
Yeah.
However, I listened to an Asian guy come on. I listened to an Asian guy's video earlier today, and he was saying how, which I've heard this people saying this before, how we are the biggest consumer of everything, media, food, sports. We are the biggest consumer, man. I mean, so what people are saying is, if you take the Black American away from it, or Black people in general, this stuff will collapse.
Hmm.
So I listen to all this stuff, man, and I'm like, that type of stuff right there, man. How in the hell that would take some hell of a leaders to put something like that together? Black leaders to say, okay, we're gonna all stop, you know,
Yeah.
supporting the media. And if we all stop supporting the media, it's going under until whatever, until we own our own media or whatever. So the stuff that they're proposing,
Mm-hmm.
basis, I mean, what Young Jock is saying is like it's impossible. We don't
Hmm.
own nothing. He said we own a couple of real estate properties and we got some doctors, we have some lawyers. But I guess when it comes to the big global things, media, banks, finances, food,
No ownership.
none, no ownership. And he said that's why the Charles Barkley's of the world are saying, man, just be quiet. Which it does sound like the slave thing, man. Just shut up and take what they give us.
Right. Right.
We just so in disarray all over the place, man. Versus the Asians, they got their own. They buy from themselves.
Mm-hmm.
The Hispanics, they got their own, so to speak. The whites, of course, got their own. Buy from themselves. Everybody seemed to have a fraternity, but us.
Yeah. One thing I heard about families in the Middle East specifically is they have no issue with having their whole family in one house. There's this one story about a guy. I think I heard this on a podcast. One story about a guy that was just sharing about how his whole, like, all his brothers stayed in one house, and they all had one car, and it was a Ferrari. But it was made possible because, like, they all they all put their money together, and it was a way for them to own and create and become powerful because they were unified.
Mm-hmm.
As Americans, we don't want to do that, but like that's just an example of a unity that I don't think we would see, but I think we need in a way. Like, imagine if your whole family, Vince, all your sisters, their husbands, you, your family, your mom, I mean, like, all of you were in the same house. That house bill is paid, and all of you coming together as a family, and like maybe even on some things investing. Even if you don't invest all in the same thing, how much freed up money and how much freed up just resources would you have doing that?
Mm.
aside from all the drama and what we imagine, because we're Americans, so we're gonna create all the excuses like, nah, I can't do that because of this, and oh, they got kids and they got a husband, and
Well, let's
oh, I
let's.
can't live with them.
Well, I like that scenario, but let's take it and be a little bit more realistic. Let's
Okay.
just say that same scenario. All my family, my sisters, they, the husbands, and whatever. Let's say we bought a block.
Yeah.
We bought a block.
Yeah.
We bought a subdivision. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Where
Yeah.
and then everybody kind of put their money together to pay off. Take turns, and we'll pay off Vince's house. We'll pay off, KB's house. We'll pay, so on and
It's
so
something like
forth.
that. Yeah.
Um, and then we get to that point to where, okay, everybody owns their own house,
Right.
and then, you know, um, you branch out from there.
That sounds beautiful,
It sounds wonderful, doesn't it? And
man.
that's the thing. You start. I think that's what's gonna have to happen, man. Is we start somewhere. You know what I mean? And I mean, you just said what you said. I'm like, damn. I mean, I see what you're saying about the whole staying in the house thing, but you was on the right track.
Yeah.
Instead of staying in the house, and we buy nice homes. Then we go to the cars. You know what I mean? Let's
Yeah.
get KB's husband a car.
Yeah.
Boom, we knocked that out.
And you work together to own, and it's just that stuff lasts. That stuff lasts. Like that sounds beautiful, man. That sounds like a dream come true.
It sounds like a dream come true, and it's easier, man. So at that point, though, do you run into? Do you even think about, even consider somebody not pulling their weight? Or do you not even think about that? Don't even worry about nobody not pulling their weight. You just keep the process going.
You just keep it going. You don't even worry about it. Everybody's on the same page, and it's, I mean, that's why you're doing it. Yeah, you don't even worry about it.
And now, is that hard? That's got to be hard, right?
I think what's hard is our ego. What's hard is
definitely our ego,
being so close to each other all the time, and relying on each other, right? Because and what I was saying, why they live in one house and stuff. One thing that they say is, and this is funny because it's completely different with us. They think like this. Why, when you get married and you get a wife, why do you want to leave the house? Why do you want to go get your own house and be separate and be divided and have kids away from everyone? Why not do all of that together? Like, that's how they think. We think so completely different. We're like, oh, we can't wait to get our own. Oh, we got money. Why would we live with anyone else? We have a wife. Nah, we can't possibly live with a family or with other people.
We need our own space. We
need our own space.
Not to mention, at that point, maybe you want to branch out and get your floss on. It's several different ways of thinking, man, that probably keeps us where we're at.
Yeah.
And I don't think we'll ever change. You know what I mean? I don't think we'll ever change, man.
We were talking about something so beautiful, and now it's back to the sad. It's like,
back to the same thing, man. But I mean, it would, if we got our plan going on, like what me and you just created. Matter of fact, we need to patent that so nobody won't take that from us. But we got our plan going on.
Yeah.
Somebody's not pulling their weight. See, you're saying you don't even think about that.
I'm thinking about pure paradise.
I would be like, I can't. It's hard for me to not think about it if I'm the one that's grinding.
Right. Of course.
Right.
Of course.
But it's like, I think you're absolutely right. You can't think about that. Like, I'm pretty sure it's some sorry sorry Hispanics in the house that ain't pulling their weight. They probably stay drunk all the time, drink more beer than most, but they can't. I don't know. I wonder how they deal with that.
and that's crazy, right? Because it's so ingrained in their community, so ingrained in their family that it's like we stay together no matter what.
No matter what.
We do not have that.
Nah. We don't.
We have all the excuses to not stay together.
Yeah, yeah. And it don't have to be a whole lot.
Oh no.
Nah, it don't have to
Oh
be a whole
no.
lot. Man, who the hell left the microwave door open, man? Damn,
Man, you
I'm
can't.
out of here, man.
Yeah,
I'm
you
out of
can't
here,
live. I
dog.
can't
I
live with
can't.
you.
Nah, I can't live like this, man. I can't. Y'all have this house, man. I'm giving me another.
Easy.
Yeah,
Easy.
yeah,
Easy.
yeah. Hey, man, let's read. Let's start
Yeah,
with
let's do
Xavier.
it.
I'm gonna let you do this, baby.
Let's do it. All right, we're gonna skip all the meteor stuff. Okay. All right. So Xavier said, yes, it makes us look bad and disconnected. We have more good than bad stereotypes, but these passport boys hating on black women. I don't know what that means. Uh, hospice care women hating on these older dudes who wait till they're sick to marry a woman to take care of them. Okay, okay. So she's just talking about the divide in our community, just things that she's seen.
Okay.
Um, she said, I personally think we should get back to raising our own fruits and vegetables, supporting each other, having community meetings every 2 to 3 months for wealth, health, finance, psychiatry. I mean, yeah, meetings are
That
cool.
sounds awesome, man.
Yeah, yeah. Um, the lovely said, blacks have been so systematically divided that it's hard to build trust in the community. And then there's the system.
She got a great point, man. She's right. But how do we get that stigma off of us? That's what
Yes.
we already know. We so divided, man. Me
Yeah.
and BJ just came up with an awesome plan, and then we broke it down right in front of us. Our plan was uphill. Then we got to dissecting it. Now we're back on the ground.
Back here, ground zero. Todd said, Byron Allen has been trying for years to buy CBS, I believe. He's got the money, but they're not going to let him in. They know if that happens, he's going to be the blueprint for others. It just takes one.
Now, I thought he bought it.
Oh, I don't know. Let's see. Byron Allen.
I thought he bought it for
CBS.
60 billion or 600 million.
He struck a deal. He struck a deal with him to bring HBCU sports to major broadcast platforms and streaming platforms. But it doesn't look like he bought it. He just struck a deal with him.
Todd is absolutely right, man. If he gets that, if any black, like that's what Bill Cosby was trying to do, right? And they wouldn't let him get it.
Yeah, and I know
Yeah.
Michael Jackson. He owned a lot of stuff. He owned the
See,
Beatles.
it's that they people again, man. Once it's a fraternity, man, it's like the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Those white owners will not let a black owner in. They just won't do it. And it's up to them to do it. And they just, nope, we're not doing it. So it's all white, man. So
and you know, I'm cautious about talking about things I don't know about or can even have an educated guess about, but it just makes sense that, let's say, you know, prejudice, racism, it exists. And if you have a very, very small elite circle, how much more prevalent could that possibly be? Probably exponentially. You know, like why would they be the most conscious, most you know, like, yeah, we're most catering group? No, why would they? They're going to be the most selfish and most contained and like, no, what? Let's keep this. We're billionaires. Why would we share this?
Why would we let you in?
Right.
You mess up the party. We got a great party going.
A great party. Bodine said, a lot of time when blacks do see another black person owning something for some reason, we as a people will not support it. It seems sometimes blacks hate to see other black people being successful.
Well, I mean, from personal experience, man, we are a bit envious, of one another.
Yeah.
That goes for family, friends, and etc. Man, we can be what I'm saying, instead of congratulating and saying, listen, show me how you did that. That's what
Why?
that's what we got to get to.
Why are we so envious?
I don't know, man. That I don't know because I'm not that type of a person. Like Bernie Mac
Right.
say, I'm not that type of a person.
I have a
So
theory.
okay, I'm
I
listening.
have a theory. You're not that type of person.
Right,
I'm not that type of person. We, however, what we have in common, we've seen what's possible.
right.
We may not see a lot of our people at the level of what's possible,
Mm-hmm.
but we've seen what's possible and we accept that that's possible for us.
Right.
All the envious people, I don't think they've either seen what's possible or have accepted that that's possible for them. So to them, it's like there's only so much room.
You could be right.
That's my theory.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure we got an envious person on here, one or two. Chime in. I mean, we would appreciate if y'all chime in and let us know why you think like you think.
Why do you think like you think? Why are
But
you envious?
it's like I want to see everybody shine.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Um, and I think a lot of people, man, that's trying to prosper, and you can take this right here, I'm gonna give you this for free. The people that are envious of other people and don't want to see other people shine, you're gonna just get so far and then you're gonna hit a wall. Because you have to have a pure soul for you to prosper, where sky's the limit. Your soul has to be pure, meaning that you have it in your heart to want to see other people succeed, and that's especially if you're a creator, and it's
Especially.
easy for you to create things, and you always make money, and you always see money and stuff like that. Unless you have your soul pure, you're just gonna go so far, and then something gonna happen, and it's gonna stop you there. You can't think that way about other people and reach the mountaintop, man. It just don't work. It don't work. Toyota said.
Toyota. She said, BJ, I heard something similar. With Hispanics, they stay together and work as one unit. When you see them with nice cars, they all help each other and then move to the next person and they get their car.
I heard the
Bam.
same thing, man. I
I've
heard the
never
same
seen a black family do that, but oh man, that would be a
thing.
beautiful thing to
Again,
see.
I would love to hear from a Hispanic young lady or a Hispanic guy to explain what happens when you have a weak link. What
Yeah.
happens when you have the weak link? I'm stuck right there, bro. I'm big enough to admit I'm stuck right there.
Now I'll say this. I can't speak for Hispanics, but I love Hispanic people. I love their language. I love their culture. So I've talked to quite a few of them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've never in my life heard them speak about their weak links like we do in the black community. And I've seen families with weak links that cannot fend for themselves, are just stuck in being, just they have to be taken care of. And it's just like that's Jose.
Yeah.
That's my cousin. Like
Yeah.
that's not just some dude on the street. Like
Yeah.
he's here. He's gonna come eat like everybody else.
Right. Right.
And we don't we don't do that. We
We
don't do
don't
that.
do that, man. We have that. We do that if they're around.
Uh-huh.
But to carry them with us, like you say, they do. We don't do that, man. We don't want to see them coming. We don't want to invite them. We don't really want them around.
Nope.
We have to figure out how do we get past that. Because that's gonna be the number one thing, man. If you got a family of 30, 3 of them are slackers.
Yeah.
You're gonna have that. The lovely say Billy Carson. Billy Carson has his own network. Damon Dash also has his own network. So there are black men trying media. It's just not popular yet. It's almost like the the little experimental leagues that they're trying to do. They've been trying to do them for years in professional football, and they just can't compete with the NFL. You know what I'm saying? They just can't compete. They don't. It's not getting the draw. Um, Media. Dame Dash has his own media. He would have to have the Denzel Washingtons, the you know the popular. You can name some popular black females, the Angela Bassett's,
Halle
the
Berry,
Halle Berry's, the Samuel L. Jacksons. They would have to have those
Latoya.
people.
I forgot her last name, but yeah,
They would have to have those people come to
Lucky,
come to their
Lucky.
networks. How do you get them there? Tyler Perry, he has people that comes to that be in his film and shoot at his place.
Yeah,
But I mean, we see them. They like C level actors and actresses.
yeah.
No main. We ain't seen Denzel Washington go to his place and do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
for
Yeah.
that stuff to prosper, man, for that stuff to materialize, those type people would have to some kind of way they would have to woo those type people. I don't know how you do it, but you
I
definitely
know.
have to do it. The Lovely says there are a group of young black entrepreneurs buying land in Atlanta as a group project. They are trying to spread the message all over for blacks to start buying land as a group. Yeah, I know a cat got with some old guys, black, and I don't know if they're all black or not. I believe they're all black though, and bought some property, put some real estate stuff on and stuff like that. That's great. That's a great start.
It is
Toyota say you think you need your own space. That's our culture, and like BJ say, we are the only
the
ones
only
we
ones.
own by coming together, and we are weak in that type of thinking, very much
Mm-hmm.
so. Toyota also says it's hard to do all that meeting, etc., because we working so hard to live on our own. Mm.
Yeah, that's another thing. But we don't have to. We force ourselves, don't we? Don't we force ourselves to kind of live hard? Because we could easily do what those other cultures are doing and just live together and work together. We just don't. We just put all this other stuff in our head about why we can't.
I mean, tomorrow, go ask one of your partners and his lady, hey, look here, man, how about me, you, our ladies, go in and get a place together? And I mean, just we can test the theory, see what they say.
I'll tell you this. I'm that type of guy, and I've done that. But I got friends of all different races, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the only the only people it doesn't work with is my own people,
Yeah.
because it's either a nah, my girl's not gonna go for that, or nah, I don't want to do that, or it just doesn't happen
Mm-hmm.
even if they say they want to. But
Right.
it's the Hispanics, it's the Asians. I mean, I don't have like too many white friends that I've asked to live with, but
Mm-hmm.
not because I want it. It's just I just haven't. But anyways, it doesn't matter. Typically, those other cultures, they're down and they're ready. They're like, yeah, let's do this. Let's
I'm
do
trying to
this.
understand still, man. I don't mean to jump in like I did, but I'm trying to understand because everybody not as clean as everybody. See the type of stuff I'm thinking about.
Exactly.
I'm
Exactly.
we sitting there having this discussion, man. I'm thinking about, well, damn, I couldn't. What if he ain't clean as me? What if she nasty? You
Exactly.
know what I mean? What if I'm going to work and he's still in the bed?
That's the
This is
first
what
thing.
yeah, this is what
Like
I'm thinking about.
can I the payment is 1,000 each, and if they don't pay, that's 2,000 on me, like thinking immediately about that.
Right. It's just we doomed when it comes to that. And I would
Doomed.
love to talk to, I got a couple of Hispanic partners, man. I'm gonna ask them, man, look here, man. I mean, but I have seen them have families over there living before.
Yeah.
for a little while and end up getting out, and I don't know, man. That has to be they have to have some type of agreement. Like, hey, look at man, you can live here, you and your lady and your two kids, but this, somebody got to quarterback the shit. Got to.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just don't know how to do it. That's interesting, man. The Lovett said Google just report if African Americans have the strongest spending power in America, totaling of 1 trillion. It also says that Black America has the power to shut down any and every retailer. Yeah, absolutely, man.
Wow.
Um,
Wow.
Black people spend a lot of money, man. Uh, Vicky say, oh shit, shoot, I ran past.
Vicky said, "Oh yes, it's in every race. Most people only stay together for survival, nothing to do with love. Survival also meaning staying together because they have built so much together and neither wants to start over. So just, I mean, yeah, I mean, for us, do we even consider survival? It's almost like we think that the only way to survive is to fend for ourselves.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
So
like we don't trust each other. It's like, oh no, I can't trust you with my life. I can't
right,
trust you to live and rely on you and you rely on me. It's like, nah, I can only trust myself. That's like our mentality.
you're right, man. You're right. Cause when we first get out, for the most part, most of us be just trying to survive as well.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we most of the time we be out on our own,
Right.
just trying to survive. Um, but like what Vicky is saying is that's when they stick together. We're not gonna go out on our own. We're gonna go out. We may leave our mom's house, but me and my three brothers gonna move in together, and
Right.
they girls.
Right.
And it's yeah, man. Just thinking about it, make my stomach hurt.
Yeah.
Xavier says, by the way, there's two communities, one in Arkansas, and one in Georgia, who purchased an entire neighborhood. We would first have to beat each other, trust each other.
Right. Right. How you say beat each other? I was like, what is he reading?
We would first have to trust each other and stay consistent with the goal. Drunk cousin or sibling might be good at housekeeping, yard work, or car detail. It's a balance. Why you got a drunk cousin just being able to clean the house, wash the car, man? That sounds a little familiar. Check 1954, the decree of selling De Niro in YouTube.
What the heck does that mean?
I don't know about the abbreviations, bro. I thought you might know.
I don't know.
The lovely says people are envious because you are what they want to be, but they don't want to do the work to get there.
I don't know if that's true.
Mm,
I don't know if that's true.
well, I mean, I've heard people say, I want this and this and this and this and this. I've heard people say, man, I want to get this, or man, I'm gonna get this, man, I'm gonna get that. But yeah, they wasn't willing to put the work in. You
Let
think
me ask you this. Oh, no, I'm
okay.
sorry. No, sorry.
No, a lot of people think they can just they may want it. You can say all day that you want some of these things, but none of this crap is gonna just drop out the sky.
Right.
And a lot of times when they start striving for that particular goal and see how hard it is to achieve it, they give up. So they really didn't want it. Cause it takes a lot. It takes work to get in certain areas, and sometimes it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of sleepless nights that people aren't willing to do.
And that's the point I was gonna make is that I don't think it's necessarily that our culture doesn't want to work. I think we give up too easily. We give up way too easily. And because I mean when I look at Asian culture, Hispanic culture, white culture, I don't see any reason or any difference of why we wouldn't work just as hard. The difference I see is we get discouraged, we get turned off, we get turned away by our own thinking, by our peers that say you can't do that, or nah, we don't do that, or and it's like, if and that's kind of going back to my theory that if they saw, or if they accepted that, oh, it's possible, like what's out there, what people, what other cultures and what other races are doing, it's
Mm-hmm.
possible for us. Maybe we wouldn't, you know just revert to just trying to survive on our own, and revert to being so defeated, and stop chasing dreams, and like, it's just, I feel like the reason most of us are like, yeah, we want to rap, is because it's a default. Oh, we've seen us rap, so we can rap. But it's
Mm-hmm.
like, we can do anything,
Right,
you know,
right.
not just rap.
And I was gonna say, um, that's self improvement that you have to do, because you have to believe in yourself, man, and know that if you want something bad enough, it's nothing can stop you from getting it. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
until you know that, and not allow other people to deter you from what your vision could be, that's still, you got to go back and do work on yourself.
Yeah.
Cause ain't nowhere in hell somebody else should be able to tell another grown up, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying?
It happens, but
Or
you're right. You're
yeah,
right.
it happens every day, all day, man. I mean, you have a lot of dream killers out there, and those are the ones who don't believe in themselves, who
Yeah.
feel like all I can do is go work for somebody else. So I can't
Right.
do that. I just gotta work for somebody else. But then if you're dealing with them, or they in your circle, and you're telling them, hey man, I'm finna go and open this detail shop, man, I'm gonna open a grocery store, the first thing they're gonna say is, man, how you gonna do that? So you have to have something inside of you to say, I'm gonna get it done. Do you owe them details? No, you don't owe them details. You just gotta say, I'm gonna get it done.
How do they grow that in themselves? Because
It's just,
I can see that in you. I see that was raised in you, and even in the gaps of where it wasn't necessarily taught explicitly to you, you picked it up because of how your environment, you had a different environment. You had a special environment. I hope you see that.
man,
You had a special environment.
I don't know if that's upbringing. I really don't know. I don't know if it's upbringing, if it's just something within some of us where we won't be denied, or can't be denied, or have no quit in us.
Hmm.
I don't know, man. I'm being honest with you. I don't know where it come from, but I literally don't think it's nothing I can do. Nothing I can do if I want to do it. And I've had people in my world to say, how you gonna do that? When you gonna do that? And I might say, I don't know, but I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
you feel me?
Yeah.
How that comes about, I have no clue, man. But I just, you know what I'm saying? And it comes from a younger age, a young age. You know what I'm saying? But when you say stuff like that, I be feeling like, damn, don't everybody think that way? Don't everybody
Unfortunately,
feel like that?
no. But what's wild is that's what our culture resonates. We make everybody think we feel that way. But inside, there's so much more insecurity, so much more self-doubt, and just defeat. So much more. I mean, you really are like the embodiment of what we resonate, and what we kind of present to the outside world. But unfortunately, I think the majority of us really, I don't want to say hate ourselves, because that's what people say. Oh, why do you hate yourself? Like, that's like an exaggeration.
Mm-hmm.
But I think on a literal term, it's just we don't believe. We don't believe that we can do it.
We have to change that,
We
man.
have to.
Some kind of way, we have to change that. And we got to start there, man. The Lovely says, what y'all are not understanding, other cultures have not been systematically divided like black people have been generations. And I get what she's saying about how they divided us.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
we recognize we've been divided and we fix it. And that's all we recognize it. Okay, let's fix it.
Right.
Let's fix it. Some kind of way. We gotta fix it.
Let's fix it.
Vicky said BJ on point tonight. Big applaud BJ.
Woo.
The lovely said Denzel said he would never be in a Tyler Perry movie. Wow. Denzel
I didn't
said
know
that?
that. I didn't know
I
that.
didn't either. I didn't either, but that's interesting. And I wonder why. Vicky said Tyler shouldn't have to uh, woo them again. Oh, Tyler shouldn't have to woo them again. We back at not supporting each other like we should. Why don't Denzel just go to him? Yeah, you're absolutely right, Big. I didn't know. I didn't know that. I didn't know he said that. The lovely said I had a friend ask me to go into a business venture with her, and I said no because her man is sorry and lazy, and she would bring him, and that would be the weakest link. So according to BJ, you just supposed to take the lazy man and
Wait
just
a minute. Wait a minute. Hold up. Hold up. Now I was coming from the perspective of this already being in our culture to stick together. So you don't in that culture, you don't care about who's the weakest link. But with us starting it and not having that already, of course we're gonna care because there's so many of us that have to, hey, get with the program,
yeah.
like there's so many of us that aren't with that. But if that's the culture, you're not caring about the ones that are weak links because it's in your DNA.
It's in your DNA.
It's in your DNA.
Like BJ said, that's just Jose.
It's
That's
just
that's
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 my
just
cousin.
Jose. That's just her husband. That's just who he is. We
That's
we still gonna feed him. We bought enough chicken for him.
yeah. And
Yeah.
when we have a party, he's an alcoholic, but we want to see him drink and still have fun. It's like what? It's crazy. I don't know. Just-
uh, Todd says credit score is an issue with the black community too. Most average black households don't have the capital to start a lucrative business. Um, you
oh,
know, um,
most average black households are single family households.
yeah. But
Single family.
once you decide what you're going to do, then you start the process. You know you got to have your credit because you don't have any money.
Mhm.
I mean, so I'm saying he's absolutely right with what he says, what he's saying, but you got to start somewhere. We got to start somewhere, right? So if you
We
know
don't
you
have
don't
the
have the credit,
capital because we're divided. Sorry.
well, if you don't have the capital and we are divided, you start somewhere and you start with your credit and you gradually build your credit. Nowadays, man, they got way you can build your credit in 6 months,
Yeah.
and then you start out small. See, if you want to have a cupcake business with a storefront, you may have to start doing cupcakes out of your house first.
Mhm.
You just get enough money, you just build your credit, and you get enough money from your local credit union or your bank. Because once you get your credit a certain score,
Yeah.
you can not be denied. And then you have to be disciplined. Some things you may have to cut back on. Okay, I
Right.
can just start cooking cupcakes in my kitchen right now. You start cooking cupcakes in your kitchen, you know what I mean? You start now the quality has to be good.
Yeah.
You build your clientele, you start moving your cupcakes. You may stay in your kitchen for a year cooking
Right.
cupcakes until you can no longer maintain it in your kitchen. Then, I mean, you necessarily don't get a storefront. You may go and get um, you may go and get a little storage building that's costing you $110 a month.
Yeah.
Put your little oven in there with electricity. Start doing it out your oven.
Yep.
So I'm just saying that it's ways to do it. You just got to get in your mind that okay, enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough, man. I gotta get this moving, and I gotta start somewhere.
We need more starters.
Yeah,
And I don't know if we have enough starters at this time period. We won't really know until like the next 5 years or next 10 years about how many starters we have today. But in the past, we haven't had enough starters. What you is exactly what you said.
but you know what we do have? What you said earlier. Everybody is saying, "I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
I want to do that." So we got a bunch of talkers. We don't have a lot of doers.
Yeah.
Like you said, we got a lot of people saying, I'm gonna start this. I'm gonna start doing this. I'm gonna start doing that. I was thinking about doing this.
Mm-hmm.
You got to do it, man, and you can't, you can't let money hinder you. You have to get yourself in position where money is not the issue. You know what I mean? And
Gotta
there's
do it.
ways to do it, but again, like you said earlier, it's not easy. It's a lot of work.
It's not easy,
It's a lot of work.
especially when you're not believing in yourself.
That's
That's the only thing. Because all the belief you have in yourself, you don't need a dime in your pocket. I'm convinced. Vincent Ingram does not need a dime in his pocket to achieve or to strive for a goal, a dream of his. Not a single dime.
That's not nothing.
But that's not the case for most of us. We need all the dimes to believe any ounce that we're capable, and that's wrong.
That's not how you do it, man. Do you know how many deals I made and didn't know where the money was coming from? I mean, I made a lot of deals, man. I didn't know how I was gonna pay for it, but I made the deal. And some kind of way, when it was time to take care of it, I had the money.
Yeah.
But it's just that faith, man. It's just that it's there for everybody, man. It's there. You just gotta believe, man, and know it's gonna take some work, man. And like we was talking about the cupcakes a while ago, a few minutes ago. I mean, you may have to work throughout the night with no sleep, man. Those are some of the things that you have to do to be successful. You know what I'm
Sacrifices.
saying? Yeah. Biggie said, like Oprah said in Color Purple, all my life I had to fight. Xavier said, we are more than entertainers and athletes. We are, very much so. It was sad when the magazine put Megan Thee Stallion on the cover for Woman of the Year or something like that. The same year a black woman was the black woman in the Navy got her wings. That's another
Oh,
thing, man.
right. Who we promote. Yeah, that
Who
yeah.
we promote. She's
Mhm.
right, man. She's right.
Yeah.
But that's what the lovely was talking about earlier. That's what the media puts out there.
Yep.
They make Megan Thee Stallion on the top of our pedestal.
And what's interesting, if we had ownership, exactly what you said, we lack ownership in those big industries. If we had
Yeah.
ownership in that, I sincerely believe we would not have put someone that is not a good role model on the front page. That's the number one thing we talk about in families and preach to our kids is like, don't follow that. Don't follow that.
Yeah.
Like, we have very good morals.
Right.
We have very good morals.
Yeah.
Regardless of what outside cultures may think about us, we have very good and very clear morals.
We do.
I don't care if you don't understand them.
You're right.
But there's other factors of why we aren't on top, and we've discussed all that in this show tonight. But like, if we were on top, if we had that ownership, that woman, that black woman that got her wings would have been front page. I sincerely believe that.
Exactly. I don't think that the elites, the Beyoncés and Jay-Z's and Barack Obamas and people like that. I don't think they want their daughters to be the next Megan Thee Stallion.
No,
They don't want their daughters to be the next Megan Thee Stallion, man.
no.
So you're right. And if we had ownership of media, we would put, that young lady who got her wings in the Navy on there. That type of stuff makes us smile, man. Not Megan Thee Stallion on the freaking cover.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you got to understand what we're saying here. We're not disrespecting Megan Thee Stallion at all, but in just being relative to what a role model is, who you want on the front page, and then who you just want involved in the magazine, just showing excellence. Like, you want Megan Thee Stallion in that conversation, but you don't want her on the front cover. And if she is self-aware, she doesn't want herself on that front cover compared to somebody that just got their wings, somebody that, like, what does that do for us seeing it, right?
Yeah. I mean, exactly, man. I mean, this lady got her wings, man. The first black woman to do this. This is amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah. The lovely said there are 3 young black men that just opened 18 grocery stores. This younger generation is trying to break these generational curses and gaps. They are more educated and more determined. That's great. I mean, better late than never. I hope so, man. I really hope so. I really try to encourage young people, man. And if any time, I come in contact with them, and I think that's what a lot of us, older ladies and men should be doing, trying to encourage the younger generation. Hell, but you got to be. They have to have something positive to look at. You know what I mean? You can't, tell a young lady that, you need to do this and you do that, and you freaking are nowhere near that status. It's just that's hard to do. People are influenced by what they see. And if
especially
go ahead.
No, especially us. Yeah, what you're saying.
Yeah.
I remember you telling me about a guy he actually approached you at the gas station, which was
different. The young man at the gas station, man. And I mean, it was only because, I'm sure he saw me drive and he just felt like, this dude got to be doing something right. You know what I mean? Yeah. But even something like that, man, because we don't have platforms like preachers and stuff like that, who get up in front of somebody every Sunday. But we can do what we do here. And it doesn't have to be anybody that see you at a gas station. You can start with talking to people, young ones in your family, and young ones, there's friends of this kids of your friends or whatever. Just start somewhere. Vicky said each race has the same issues. Some may be more than others. The only reason we know more about our race is only because that's what was dealt with more. Damn.
Okay. you good there?
I mean, but the Hispanics they work together, man.
We know that. We don't have to be in their culture to see that.
Here in Houston, BJ, they have a community here of Asians, man. They have their own community. They have their own
strong.
The hospital. They have their own banks. They have their own credit unions. They have their own police.
Their own supermarkets.
Their own supermarkets.
Their own streets.
Their own streets. Their own politicians. They have their own everything here in Houston. So now other cultures they stick together a lot more than what we do.
100%. I don't think we need to walk in their shoes to see that we are the most divided. I mean, okay. DeLovely said Denzel says that he wouldn't participate with Tyler Perry because he plays on Black trauma. Ooh, drama.
Well, I mean, Tyler Perry's deals are all the same, man. Right? It's always, the gay brother, sleeping with the sister's husband, or
Yeah.
the drug addict wife. So I can see that. I can see that. That's a great point that Denzel made. He's saying, I
Is
don't
it a
want to be.
great point?
It is a great point, man. He don't want to play those roles. I'm a Denzel fan, and I've
I
heard
don't agree.
Denzel say that he's turned down different roles from, you know,
Yeah.
Scorsese and all them guys if it
Right.
wasn't the right fit for him. But
Well,
if Tyler Perry, like he got the same blueprint all the time.
Yeah.
What I just named, it's either a few different things.
Yeah.
And if Denzel don't want to play the broken lawyer
Right.
with a drinking problem,
Right.
you feel
And,
me?
to each his own. I 100% respect the man's decision, but I hope there's no conversation about what Tyler Perry is doing is wrong. I hope that's not the conversation because other cultures have, and I'm not going to say exploited, but I'm going to say they've shared their cultural arguments and stereotypes and archetypes, their characters. They've shared theirs. Tyler Perry is just sharing ours. So I don't see that as a sellout. I hope that's not the conversation.
He
But if
is
it's
sharing hours and it's great, but damn, don't let that be the only you make.
well, there's other people, why is he the real question is, why is he the only one up there? Where's everyone else? That's not Tyler Perry's fault, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I love the way he has established himself. I
Oh,
think that's amazing,
it's
man.
beautiful.
I think it's amazing what he's done. And
Imagine how
yeah,
many checks he's cut into our community
a
with that.
lot.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh,
a
you know.
lot. Who is that?
Um,
What's her name? What's the girl name that played Candy? What's her name? What's her name, man?
who?
Taraji. Taraji said that
Oh, Taraji P Henson.
yeah, Tyler Perry gave her first $1 million check, man.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's a beautiful
that's
thing.
awesome. That's awesome. The letter said, if you have money for a nice car, designer clothes, or designer handbags, then you have money for capital. The black community has to get their priorities in order. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's she's right.
yeah, yeah.
Discipline is a big deal, man. When you're trying to, a lot of that frivolous bull crap, you got to leave alone.
You're right.
You got to leave alone. The letter said you have a lot of black entrepreneurs, women who are babysitting, doing hair, designing clothes, detail shops, landscapers. No one wants to do the paperwork to make their business legit.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
So, so about that paperwork and about like illegitimate companies and things. I don't know too much about it. I do know a lot of us are illegitimate, but I think that may be more of a lack of education of how you should be doing things because you know when we want something, we do what's necessary to get it. But
Exactly.
if we don't know that okay, this is a requirement, if that's not laid out in front of us,
Mm-hmm.
then that's just not going to get included because we're blocking out anything that's not required. I mean, we are as a culture,
Mm-hmm.
we are very like efficient in that sense. If we
Yeah.
have a goal in mind, we're very
Right.
efficient.
Right.
you know
Yeah. I think what she's talking about again is a mentality. If
yeah.
if you're skilled in those areas, but you won't do what you need to do to become legitimate,
Hmm.
that's something you got to work on within yourself. You're
Yeah.
okay with being mediocre and unofficial,
Right.
and you shouldn't be okay with being mediocre and unofficial. You want to have you know your certificate on the wall or your license on the wall to be able to do that. That's an accomplishment that you should be striving for and then proud
Yeah.
of when you get
Yeah.
so when people come to get their hair done, um, that you have your plaque right there. So your elites, or not
Hmm.
your elites, or your working class, or whomever, would be, okay with coming to your shop versus coming sitting in your kitchen.
Yeah.
You know,
Those of you that don't know that you're doing something wrong, I pray that you find the education and you find the that reaches you. But those of you that do know you're illegitimate, okay, I want you to understand that you're wrong.
you're wrong.
And it's going to catch up to you.
It's gonna catch you.
Once you know about something and you know you're doing something wrong and you
Yeah,
don't fix it,
yeah,
Vince, what I
yeah.
mean,
That's that soul pure thing I was talking about.
right.
Your soul is not pure. You have a lot of great cooks out there, guys who can cook, barbecue, the whole 9 yards. All they gotta do is go get legitimate. You got a business, you got a restaurant. You just got to go get your paper. You have to be disciplined enough to get your affairs in order. When you don't, you're on the run. Why would you want to be somewhere and you booming, selling this fantastic barbecue? People can't wait to see you coming, and then you piss somebody off. They call in on you, and the cops or the health department is running you off. So your stuff,
and they took everything.
yeah.
You did all that work for them to take everything just because you ignored some of those critical things that the government is paying attention to.
Yeah.
The government is paying attention to.
The government
Haters.
is paying attention to. Damn, this dude making all the damn money. Hell, and I mean, you can't go ahead and make yourself legitimate, man. Go ahead and make yourself legitimate and get out of that mentality. You know what I'm saying? You got to get out of that mentality.
Yeah. We're almost done. We're almost done here.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that was a good one, man. That was a good one. That was a really, really, really good one, man.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I'm glad my cousin Todd chimed in, man. He had a lot of great points, man. That was awesome, man.
I think he's chimed in once or twice before, but yeah, I noticed. I was like, hey, that's a name I don't see too often.
Yeah, but he always bring the funk, man, when he come in with something. So that was cool.
We appreciate you.
That was real cool, man. Yeah. So listen, BJ, we're gonna get up out of here, man. And bro, look, man, have you a great weekend, man. Have you a great
you
weekend.
too. Everybody have a blessed weekend. If you liked the video, please tackle that like button. Share this video because we had a lot of gems in this video. Go ahead and share it, but most importantly, like it because you're telling us that we're making great content and that we should continue. So if you like it, that means we know we should continue. So please, do that for us.
We appreciate it. With that being said, man, y'all have a good one. Holla.